Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elia, and I will be serving as your moderator for this season. It is a great honor to welcome you all to the International Conference on Interdisciplinarity for Sustainable Development, or INTERDIS 2025. This event, organized by Aptisi Komisariat SIKBI in collaboration with Universitas Informatika dan Bisnis Indonesia, or we call UNIBI. We truly appreciate your presence today and hope this session will be insightful and engaging for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I'd like to read a brief introduction to our speaker. First, presenter is Ruli Febriansyah with the title Optimizing Endobert and Roberta Transformer Models for Sentiment Analysis of Consumer Review on Local Sneaker in Tokopedia. Second presenter is Veronica Rohali Sitorus with the title is Does Market Power and Capital Strength Drive Financial Stability? A panel analysis of KBMI to banks in Indonesia. And third presenter, Siska Hadianti with the title The Influence of Online Customer Reviews and Customer Satisfaction on Repurchase Intention of Erigo Fashion Product on Shopee. Fourth presenter is Rezka Nadia Dwiani with the title Designing and Motion Graphic as a Character Palpal and Gura for Introduce the traditional dessert from West Java made by old coconut and brown sugar for children aged 8 to 12 years in Bandung City. Fifth presenter is Imelda Trihandayani Mulyana with the title Designing the User Interface and Evaluating the User Experience of the Unibi Library website using the user-centered design method. And the last presenter or sixth presenter is Dede Irman Firdaus with the title Application of Deep Learning and Generative Adversarial Networks, or GAN, for data augmentation and classification or diabetic retinopathy in eye fundus images. Before the presentation begin, kindly allow me to remind all participants to one, maintain order and keep microphones mute during the presentation, and then post your question in the chat box or use the raise hand feature, and then participate actively during the Q&A session after the presentation. Without further ado, I am pleased to invite Ruli Febriansyah to present their topic with the title Optimizing Introvert and Roberta Transformer Models for Sentiment Analysis of Consumer Review on Local Sneaker in Tokopedia. The presentation will present about 10 minutes, followed by a Q&A session with a maximum of 2 questions or 5 minutes. And Ruli Febriansyah, the screen is yours.
Hello everyone, my name is Rui Febriansyah from Indonesian University of Informatics and Business. Today I will present my research and detail optimize Doobert and Roberta transformer model for sentiment analysis of consumer review on local sneaker in Tokopedia. The background, Indonesian digital economy is growing rapidly and is projected to reach 109 billion US dollar by 2025. One of its key contribution is the fashion industry, especially local sneaker brand. These brands are expanding, but they still face challenge in maintaining customer loyalty. In this context, online review play a crucial role because they strongly influence consumer perception and purchasing decision. However, analyze a review manual is time consuming and often inconsistent. This is where a transformer-based NLP model like Indobert and Roberta can help by providing accurate automated sentiment analysis. Let me walk you through the risk methodology. First, I define the problem statement and conducted a literature review. Next, I collect a consumer review from Tokopedia through data scraping. During pre-processing, I clean the data by removing emoji, punctuation, and unnecessary symbol. Then I apply cascading to convert all text to lowercase for consistency. I also perform word normalization to standardize slang or non-standard word into their correct form. Each review was labeled as positive or negative, and I apply label encoding positive as 1, negative as 0. After that, I split the dataset into training, validation, and testing set using a 70-15-15 ratio. Finally, I apply tokenization to transform the text into numerical sequence for the model. The step ensured the dataset was clean, consistent, and ready for modeling training. Then I built two model Indobert and Roberta and evaluate them to determine the best performing approach. My dataset consists of 2,661 review from three popular local sneaker brand, Sneaker Kanki, Brodo, and Kompas. Sentiment level were divided into positive and negative, and the dataset was balanced for fair model comparison. As shown in the chart, approximately 58% of review are positive and 42% are negative. Here is the workout visualization for positive and negative sentiment. Positive workout include bagus meaning good, nyaman meaning comfortable, awet meaning durable, and keren meaning cool. The highlight comfort, durability, and aesthetic. Negative words such as ukuran, meaning size, terlalu kecil, meaning too small, tidak sesuai harapan, meaning not as expected, and pengiriman, meaning delivery. Point to issue with sizing and delivery. Moving on the classification result, Indobert achieved a precision of 0.93, recall of 0.94, F1 score of 0.93, and accuracy of 93.25%. Meanwhile, Roberta records a slightly lower value with accuracy of 80.10%. This show that Indobert consistently outperformed Roberta across all evaluation metrics. The confusion metric indicates that Indobert produced fewer misclassification compared to Roberta for both sentiment classes. Indobert had fewer false positive and false negative, meaning it is more reliable in correctly detecting sentiment polarity. The ROC curve analysis further confirmed Indobert superiority with an AUC score of 0.9740 compared to Roberta 0.9345. This means Indobert has better compatibility in distinguishing between positive and negative sentiment. Lastly, in the five-fold cross-validation, Indobert consistently maintains high, higher accuracy across all folds, averaging 91.82%. In contrast, Roberta averaged 80.10%. Indobert also demonstrates less performance variation, indicates better stability and generalization ability. In conclusion, both Indobert and Roberta demonstrate strong performance in Indonesia sentiment classification. However, Indobert proved to be more optimal, offering high accuracy, better balance between precision and recall, and more consistent performance stability. From a business perspective, most review of local sneaker are positive, highlighting comfort and quality. Negative review mainly emphasize issue with sizing, unmet expectation, and delivery. This insight can help manufacturer maintain their strength while addressing areas for improvement. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you for your presentation, Ruli, for giving such an informative and comprehensive presentation. Now we have come to Q&A session. Those who want to ask, we invite you. Is any question? Okay. Um, I received a question by message. The question is, why, Ruli, did you choose Indobert and Roberta for sentiment analysis? And how did you answer that the comparison is valid, stable, and relevant to this research, Ruli? Please answer, Ruli.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
Okay.
I chose Indobot and Roberta because
Mhm.
both are Indonesian transformer model that have been widely used for the text analysis,
Okay.
making them highly relevant for
Mhm.
the e-commerce context in Tokopedia.
Mhm.
The dataset used in study is relatively balanced,
Okay.
so no additional balancing was required. The evaluation was performed using F1 score, precision, recall, accuracy, IUC, and coefficient matrix, and validate with 5-fold cross-validation
Mhm.
uh, to ensure stable result and minimize the rise of overfitting. The results show that Innobird achieve more consistent performance with lower variance between fault, making it a more reliable choice for sentiment analysis with similar data characteristic. So that is how I ensure a valid and stable comparison. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your answering, Ruli. It's very clear. And ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. We will now listen to the second part of the presentation to Veronica Rohali Sitorus, who will be presenting about does market power and capital strength drive financial stability, a panel analysis of KBMI, two banks in Indonesia. Please go ahead.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vernica Ralistorus. Today, I'm honored to present my research proposal entitled Does Market Power and Capital Strength Drive Financial Stability? A panel analysis of KBMI 2 banks in Indonesia. My presentation consists three main parts: one, introduction to literature review; three, research methodology. Let me begin with the background. Financial system stability is vital for economic sustainability and crisis prevention. In Indonesia, as of 2022, the bank industry dominates the financial sector, accounting for 7.9% of total assets. Hence, banking stability is central to the stability of entire financial system. To the same banking system, the Financial Service Authority (OJK) issued Regulation Number 12 (POJK.3/2020) on bank consolidation. The classification banks also changed from buku to KBMI or kelompok bank berdasarkan modal inti or core capital base group. This is the classification structure based on capital ranging from KBMI 2, KBMI 1, to KBMI 4. My research focused especially on KBMI 2 banks, which have core capital between 6 and 14 trillion rupiah. The Jet score is widely used indicator of bank stability. A high Jet score implies lower exposure risks. Based on my process data, KBMI2 show relative low and fluctuative Jet score, suggesting weak financial stability. And another important variable is Lerner index, which measure market power, the degree of competition. Higher value of the index implies competition. In KBMI2 banks, the Lerner index is relative high, including low competition. Next, capital buffer play key role in ensuring bank resilience. Banks with stronger capital are more capable with key financial risk, especially during economic stage. Okay, based on the background, the following research questions are proposed. 1. What is the overview of competition, capital buffer, and banking stability among KBMI banks 2020 to 2024? 2. How does competition affect banking stability? 3. How does capital buffer affect banking stability? 4. How do both variables simultaneously affect banking stability? Next, the object this research are to examine descriptive profile competition, capital buffer, and banking stability among KBMI2 banks to analyze the individual and joint influence of competition and capital buffer on stability. This is a research contribution into means area. Theoretically, it's a value to financial management literature, particularly regarding bank stability, and particularly it's provide insight policymaker to ensure and competition the banking sector. Next, literature review. The study is grounded in management theory and financial banking as the green theory, banking and signaling theory as a middle level theory, and the applied theory include competition, capital buffer, and banking stability. Here the conceptual framework, the illustration between the independent variable competition and capital buffer, and 2, the independent variable banking instability. The research variable are quantitative causal. The proposed hypotheses are: hypothesis 1, competition significantly affect banking stability. Hypothesis 2, capital buffers significantly affect banking stability. Hypothesis 3, competition and capital buffers simultaneously affect banking stability. This is research use quantitative method. This is methodologinya. This is research use quantitative method with both descriptive variable approach is focused on numerical data and hypothesis testing. The population include 110 annual reports from 2022 KBMI2 banks during 2020 to 2024. The banks include regional development bank and commercial bank such as Bank Jatim, BJB, DBS, Bank DBS Indonesia, and each other. As the research, as other research, 17 banks were selected as a sample for the study. This bank representation arranged institution within the KBMI2 group. This is sample. This is research use secondary data collected from annual financial report available on IDX website and official website of a bank. Next, data analysis. Classical assumption test. One, normality test. Use Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. 2, multicollinearity test. Use VIVM tolerance. 3, heterogeneity test. Use Gleiser test. 4, autocorrelation test. Use Durbin-Watson. Statistical analysis. The main statistical tools used this study are: 1, multiple linear regression, 2, multiple correlation, and 3, coefficient of determination. To test the hypothesis, 1, t-test is used to evaluate the individual effect of each independent variable, and f-test is used to assess the simultaneous influence of both variables on banking stability. That's my presentation. I hope this is a research of valuable insight into the financial stability of KBMI2 banks and can serve as a reference for future policy direction. Thank you very much for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Veronica, for the excellent presentation. That was a very comprehensive presentation for sure. And then after we know about the debt market power and capital strength drive financial stability, panel analysis of KBMI2 banks in Indonesia. Now it is time to have a discussion with our speakers. Those who want to ask, we invite. Is any question? Okay. Um, we have question for the message, Veronica. The question is, why did you focus on KBMI to banks rather than other categories? For sure, KBMI 1, KBMI 2, or KBMI 4. So why do focus on KBMI 2 banks? Please, your answer, Veronica.
Thank you for question. KBMI2 banks represent mid-sized institutions that play
Okay.
a critical intermediary role between
Okay.
a large bank and
Mhm.
small regional banks. Despite their importance, they are
Mhm.
often overlooked in research. They face unique challenge. One, competition from large bank. Two, limited capital compared to top-tier institution, and
Mhm.
higher exposure to regional economic fluctuation. Studying KBMI2 allow us to better understand the resilience of mid-tier banks, which are crucial for financial system stability in Indonesia.
Okay. It is clear, yeah, for the answering, Veronica. So thank you very much for the answering. Any question? Okay, no, yeah. Thank you for the answer again, Veronica. It is very clear. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. We will now listen to the third part of the presentation to Siska Hadianti, who will be presenting the influence of online customer review and customer satisfaction on repurchase intention of Erigo Patient product on Shopee. The screen is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Introduction myself. My name is Siska Hadianti. Today I will present the finding of my research title, The Influence of Online Customer Review and Customer Satisfaction on Repurchase Intention of Erigo Patient Product on Shopee. The patient marketplace industry in Indonesia experienced significant growth in 2024, driven by the increased adoption of technology and the shift in consumer behavior towards online shopping. The data show that Shopee is the platform people visit most often to make transactions, with a total of 235.9 million visits. Shopee, as one of the most popular online shopping platforms, reflect the current digital market trends. Shopee top 10 best-selling categories show that fashion and accessories account for 49% of total sales. The data on the site show that local brands like Erigo have stood on due to product quality and effective digital marketing strategies. The data also show that Erigo experienced an increase in sales in this year's 2023, reaching 33,000 pieces sold. Okay, next, repurchase intention. Based on data, although the intel interest in Erigo product is quite high, the repurchase rate remain low. Most consumers do not make repeat purchase in the short term. It can be seen from the data on the site. It shows that 33.3% of consumers have made purchase for more than 1 year. It can be seen from data on the site. The result show that consumer intention to repurchase Erigo product is still relatively low. This suggests that Erigo needs to improve its strategies to build stronger customer loyalty and increase repeat purchase. Okay, next, online customer review. Uh, the data show uh, the data show that most customer review are positive. However, there are still negative review relative to product quality, accuracy of information, sizing, and delivery service. Okay, next, customer satisfaction. The pre-survey finding indicate that customer satisfaction with Erigo product is not yet optimal. Erigo need to improve product quality and customer experience. Okay, next, problem formulation. The problem formulation in this study includes four main points concerning the influence of online customer review dan customer satisfaction of repurchase intention. Number one, what are the respondent response regarding online customer review, customer satisfaction, and repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee? Number two, how significant is the influence of online customer review on repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee? Number three, how significant is the influence of customer satisfaction on repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee? Number four, how significant is influence online customer review and customer satisfaction on repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee? Okay, next, research objectives. This research aims to understand respondent response and measure the influence of each variable on repurchase intention. Number one, to understand the respondent response regarding online customer review, customer satisfaction, and repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. Number two, determine the extent for influence of online customer review on the purchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. Number three, determine the extent of influence of customer satisfaction on the purchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. Number four, to determine the combined influence of online customer review and customer satisfaction on the purchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. Next, framework of thinking. This framework illustration the relationship between online customer review and customer satisfaction as independent variables and the purchase intention as the dependent variable. Okay, next, research paradigm. The research paradigm show the logical flow of relationship among the variable in the conceptual model. Okay, next, hypothesis formulation. There are three main hypotheses in study that test the influence of each variable both partially and simultaneously. How one online customer review influence repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. How two, customer satisfaction influence repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. How three, online customer review and customer satisfaction influence repurchase intention for Erigo patient product on Shopee. Okay, next, research methodology. Method quantitative, approve, descriptive, and verification. Population 4,700,000 consumer have purchased Erigo patient product, the Shopee, from 2017 to December 19, 2024. Sampel, yang mana formula, a sample of 400 sample was taken. Non-probability sampling with purposive sampling technique. Criteria, one, customer who purchase through a customer Shopee. Number two, customer who have purchased Erigo product. Number three, customer who have provide online review on Shopee. Data collection technique, observation, questionnaire, literature research. Instrument testing technique, validity test, reliability test. Data testing technique, test classical assumptions, normality test, multicollinearity test, heterogeneity test, multilinear regression coefficients, multi-correlation coefficients, coefficient of determination, hypothesis testing, t-test, and f-test. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention. I have to answer any question.
Okay. Thank you, Siska Hadianti, Siska, for the presentation. That was a very comprehensive presentation. And then after we know about the influence of online customer review and customer satisfaction on repurchase intention of Erigo Fashion product on Shopee, now it is time to have a discussion with Siska as our speakers. And those who want to ask, we invite. Is there any question? Okay, there is question from the participant by message. The question is, what is the urgency of this research, Siska?
Okay, thank you for the question.
Okay.
So the urgency of this research comes
Mhm,
from the gap between the Erigo high sales
mhm.
and negative review on Shopee and the low number of customers who want to buy again. This
Okay.
show that good review and customer satisfaction do not always lead to loyalty.
Okay.
In today digital era,
Mhm.
online customer review and customer satisfaction are important for buying decision.
Yes.
However, their effect on whether people will buy again is still unclear.
Mm.
That's why this research is need to give useful insight that can help companies improve their marketing based on the real customer experience.
Okay. It's very clear. Thank you so much, Siska, for the answer and of course for the presentation. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. We will now listen to the fourth part of the presentation to Rizga Nadia Duyani with the title Designing and Motion Graphics as a character Palpal and Gurapor introduce the traditional dessert from West Java made by all coconut and brown sugar for children as age to 12 years in Bandung City. The screen is yours. Please go ahead.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a honor to meet you here. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Reska Nadia Duyani from Indonesian University of Informatics and Business Bandung, Indonesia. With this session, I will present my research entitled Designing and Motion Graphic as a Character Palpal and Gura for Introduce the Traditional Dessert from West Java, made by oat coconut and brown sugar for children aged 8 until 12 years in Bandung City. Introduce. Indonesia boasts a rich variety of traditional foods that reflect the cultural diversity and tradition of the entire Nusantara. These traditional dishes are divided into two categories, main course and snacks. One category of snacks include market treats and light bites, such as cakes and cold beverage. However, the distribution and preservation of these traditional snacks remain limited and require greater attention from the community. In West Java, there are various traditional snacks made from natural ingredients, such as old coconut and brown sugar, such as surabi and awuk from Bandung, wajit from Cililin, and dodol from Garut. Unfortunately, these traditional snacks are less popular among children compared to modern snacks. However, traditional snacks are safer to consume because they are made from natural ingredients and their taste is not significantly different from modern snacks. To address this issue, visual media such as motion graphic can be an effective and attention-grabbing solution for children. Motion graphic combine animation, storytelling, and interactive sound with colorful visuals suitable for children. With the animated characters, Palpal and Gura, this motion graphic is expected to capture children's attention while helping them understand traditional snacks from the ingredients, production process, to the cultural value and unique taste they possess. Literature review. Media information. Sasmita stated that media information is a tool for collecting and reorganizing information so that it becomes useful material for the recipient of the information. Illustration. Rasjoyo in Kristanto state that illustration can be described as work of art intended to describe or explain something in the form of a story or scenario, music, or image. Motion graphic. Sidki and Astuti state that motion graphic use video and animation to create the illusion of movement and transformation. Traditional snacks. Ginting state that snacks that originate from a particular region or culture prepare using traditional recipe and usually have distinctive characteristics in terms of ingredients, preparation methods, and presentation. These snacks are often part of a community cultural heritage and tradition. And for the methods, the first is pre-production, collecting data and observation, collecting information about traditional West Java snacks, the target audience, and the educational concept to be conveyed. Looking for idea and references, collecting ideas and searching for references based on data and observation. Concept development, deciding on the main message, storyline, visual style, and characters of Paupal and Gura. Script writing and storyboarding. Write a short, easy to understand script, then create a storyboard that illustrates the scenes. Asset preparation. Design characters and collect supporting assets such as sounds, music, and graphic elements. And the second step is production. Character and asset creation. Digitalize of characters and illustration assets according to the list of sketches using Clip Studio Paint software. Audio production. Do some voiceovers for the character Paupal and Gura and finding background music that fits the concept. And the last step is post-production, editing and rendering. Editing by combining previously created illustration elements and inserting voiceover audio and background music using CapCut software, then exporting the final video in the good quality. And this is for the result that I made is a character Paupal and Gura. The material old coconut and brown sugar, and the traditional snacks is awuk Bandung, wajit cililin, dodol Garut, and surabi Bandung. And this is the result of the motion graphic.
Halo, aku Palpal, si kelapa.
Halo, aku Gura, si gula merah.
Di Jawa Barat terdapat beberapa kudapan manis yang memiliki rasa unik dan enak loh.
Dan ternyata kita itu bisa dibuat menjadi kudapan manis tersebut.
Penasaran ada apa aja? Sini kita kasih tahu.
Awuk dari Bandung. Awuk merupakan camilan manis yang terbuat dari tepung beras, gula merah, dan kelapa parut, yang kemudian dikukus secara bertumpuk. Ada surabi manis dari Bandung. Bahan dasar untuk membuat surabi adalah tepung beras, santan kelapa, dan garam. Biasanya surabi ini dimasak menggunakan cetakan khusus yang terbuat dari tanah liat dan dimasak di atas tungku arang.
Wajit dari Cililin, wajit ini dibuat dari bahan-bahan sederhana seperti beras ketan, gula merah, santan, dan kelapa parut. Wajit juga memiliki tekstur yang lengket. Dodol Garut. Dodol ini merupakan camilan manis yang dibuat dari campuran bahan utama seperti tepung ketan, gula merah, santan, dan bahan tambahan lainnya. Semua kudapan ini juga bisa kalian buat sendiri atau dengan membelinya.
Nah, semua kudapan ini selain dari kelapa dan gula, terdapat bahan lainnya ya.
Conclusion. The motion graphic design featuring the characters Paupal and Gura can be used as an educational and informational medium to introduce traditional snacks from West Java. This medium not only increases children's knowledge about traditional snacks, but also helps preserve local culture in a relevant way. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation has given you a clear understanding of how motion graphics can help preserve and introduce traditional culture to the younger generation. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. That was a very nice graphic and comprehensive presentation, Rizka. Thank you again for your presentation. And after we know about design and motion graphic as a character, Palpal and Gura for introduce the traditional dessert from Java made by all coconut and brown sugar. Now it is time to have a discussion with Rezga as our speakers. So those who want to ask, we invite you. Is there any question? Okay. There is question from the participant by message, Rezga. The question is were there any difficulties while working on this project? If so, how did you overcome them? Rezga, please answer the question.
Okay, thank you for the questions. The difficulty on making this project is organizing and managing the multiple stages of the motion graphic production from concept development to final rendering. I address this by breaking down the project into smaller, manageable tasks and using project management tools to assign responsibilities, track progress, and monitor deadlines through visual tools. Maybe that's my answer.
Okay. Thank you for the answer, Rezga. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. We will now listen to the fifth part of the presentation to Imelda Trihandayani Mulyana with the title Designing the User Interface and Evaluating the User Experience of the Unibi Library website using the user-centered design method. The screen is yours and please go ahead, Imelda.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for taking your time to attend my presentation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Imelda Trihandayani Mulyana, a final year student from the Information System Department at Universitas Informatika dan Bisnis Indonesia. Today, I would like to present about my research. Today, I would like to present about my research. The title is Designing the User Interface and Evaluating the User Experience of the Unique Library website using the user-centered method design. This research is focused on evaluating and improving the usability of the Unique Library website, ensuring that the design truly meets user needs and expectations through the application of UCD principle and usability testing using the System Usability Scale or SUS method. Without further delay, I will now begin my explaining the background and objective of my research. What is the background to this research? First is how use of the Unibi Library website by students do an attractive and difficult to use interface. And second is the current interface design is not user-oriented and failing to meet user and need and expectation. And the need to apply to the user-centered design UCD method to improve and accessibility and convenience in using digital library service. The object is Library of Universitas Informatika and Bisnis Indonesia. Unibi Library support academic activities by providing service and facility for learning, teaching, and research for all university members. The collection is include textbook, journal, proceeding, handbook, and student thesis with a borrowing system and administrative service which a library claims letter and a library is available through the official website, but the interface is still need improvement in terms of design and user experience. The method what I use is user-centered design is a design method that focuses on the need, desire, and limitation of user. In UCD, users are actively involved from the beginning to the end of the design process, starting from identifying needs to evaluating the product. The goal is to create a system that is not only useful but also comfortable and enjoyable to use. According to ISO 9241 2019, as cited by Sabana et al. 2022, UCD consists of four main stages: is context analysis, identifying who the user are, their need, and the context which the system will be used, and defining requirement is formulating user and organizational need and objective. And the design is developing the design solution and from initial concept to prototype. And the evaluation is testing the design with user to gather feedback and make improvement. This process is carried out iteratively until the resulting design truly aligns with user expectation. In this part, I will explain the result of the concept analysis, which is the first phase in the user-centered design process. First, through observation, I studied current condition of the UDB library website and how it used by students. I conduct involving 35 students from 7 different study programs. Results show that 65.7% of students rarely use the website due to an unattractive design, incompetitive, and confusing navigation. So, respondent selection is 35 UDB students from 7 study programs were selected to provide relevant insight for interview. And the interview and questionnaire result is 65.7 of 35 students have accessed the library website, but rarely and only when needed. Most used feature is book search, and satisfaction level is moderate to low, especially regarding design and functionality. Issue is unattractive design, confusing navigation, limited feature, and students prefer visiting the library directly. The feature is book availability info and ebook access. 82.9% would use the website more often if it had better design and usability. Second, and this part, result of defining requirement as first is user persona. According to Kusuma et al., user persona is a fictional yet realistic representation of user created based by observation and interview. This technique is used to really understand the user characteristic, need, goals, that are be helping developer or designer make decisions that are more focused on actual need to user. And this slide is illustration the user flow, the UDB library website. The process is begin on homepage. It is homepage and a process to the about library and library section and continue to book catalog. At this point, user can search for book using the search bar. If desired book is found, the process conclude book is found, the process conclude. If not, user are directly to information library service, including user guide, contact information, and operational hour. According to Sutanto 2022, user flow is the path taken by user from the moment they start a system website or website until the final perform with the system. And now this slide is present the sitemap of the UDB library. UDB library it represents the hierarchical structure on the main page, such a homepage, about library, book catalog, and library service, contact us, The sitemap helps designer and developer plan the layout and navigation of the website by clearly showing how each page is interconnected. According to Hannah and Honza, a sitemap is the tool that helps users explore web page and find available information in a simple and convenient way. Designing a website with sitemap enables users to interact with system more easily and intuitively. Additionally, it helps developers create a more organized and user-friendly navigation structure. And this slide is represent the design result that I create. It show the homepage Unigi website, which consists of several main elements, is a header containing the navigation menu and a hero section, as the main visual highlight to engage user, and the footer for additional information such as contact and a detailed copyright notice. The slide display is the About Library page. This page is contain brief about the library, including its vision and mission, visitor rules and regulations, and detail about the librarian on the team. And designed to give user clearly overview of the library profile and available service. And this slide is displaying the design for the book collection page. The page collection is available in the library along with the search feature. It also features a book style page that presents more complete information for each item, such as title, author, and publication year, and brief description or anything. And this slide also present the design for the library contact information page, which including type details such as the address, email, location, additional map, and it features library service page, which provide information on the type of service, on the type of service available, such book borrow, return, membership, and reference service. And the final stage of the design process is evaluation. In this stage, researcher evaluation the website using the system usability scale SUS method. SUS method is usability evaluation tool that consists of the 10 statement present in the form questionnaire. The questionnaire was distributed to 40 respondents and who are rate their response using Likert scale. And the collection data in then calculated and interpreted to determine the level of usability design Unibi library website. And this final result is the total SUS score is 207.9750 defined by 40 response give an average score of 67.875, and score interpretation is grade scale fall into category C, indicating high usability, addictive rating rate was okay. User general view the website positively, expectability range is marginal expectable. The system is still expectable to user. Percentile rank with the 41, 59% range, showing above average usability compared to other systems. And Net Promoter Score, our NPS, is category as passive user, not enthusiastic promoter, but also not detractor. Improve documentation is include more diverse respondent, improve user flow, simply research, and information access. And engine system responsive to reach a higher usability score grade or B. Thanks for all. Thank you for the time and thank you.
Okay, you are welcome, Imelda. That was very comprehensive presentation. Again, thank you, Imelda, for the presentation. And after we know about designing the user interface and evaluating the user experience of Unibi library website. Now it is time to have a discussion with Imelda as our speaker. So, uh, if you wanna ask about designing interface to Imelda, you can raise hand or chat, please. Okay, is any question? Okay, there is no question, Imelda. If no question, we will continue to the next presenter. Now we will listen to the sick part of the presenter. This is the last presenter to Dede Irman Firdaus with the title Application of Deep Learning and Generative Adversarial Network organ for data augmentation and classification of diabetic retinopathy in eye fundus images. Please go ahead.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dede Irman Firdaus from the Informatics Study Program. On this session, I will present the result of my research entitled Application of Deep Learning and Generative Adversarial Networks organ for data augmentation in classification of diabetic retinopathy in eye fundus image. This is research discussion how deep learning and GAN technology can help improve the accuracy of early detection of the eye disease, diabetic retinopathy. First, the background of my research. What is diabetic retinopathy or DR? Diabetic retinopathy or DR is a serious complication of diabetic that affect the blood vessels of retina. What is the condition of RD or DR in the world and in Indonesia? In globally, DR is the leading cause of blindness in people of working age. The last data show that more than 161 million people worldwide suffer from disease condition. In Indonesia, the prevalence of DR is also increasing along with the growth of diabetic sufferers, reaching between 10% to 32% of the total number of diabetic sufferers. Why is early detection so important? This makes early detection crucial, but the problem is that many patients don't recognize the early symptoms. So they come to the hospital at an advanced stage where treatment becomes more quality and expensive. Early detection is crucial, however, in the field there are several challenges. Limited quality medical data for training AI models. Variation in image quality due to difference in equipment, lighting, and precision condition. This is where deep learning comes in, but to work optimally, the model requires large amount of data. The solution is to use data augmentation based of generative adversarial networks organ with can generative synthetic image that resemble the original data. The next, my research object. Here, the object my research there, the data is should come from the public diabetic retinopathy. Gaussian filter data set from the Aptos 2019 competition on Kaggle and has been labeled by experts. I then perform classes simplification from the original 5 severity levels. I simplify them to just 2 classes, normal and diabetic retinopathy or DR. And the image on the slide, we can see the difference between the fundus image of normal eyes and those affected by DR. Next is the research method. This study is divided into main scenario for compression and one scenario to evaluate whether the results are valid or just a coincidence. Scenario 1, without decision, I performed data collection, processing, and training 2 deep learning models, ResNet, 18, and EfficientNet B0 on the original dataset. Then scenario 2, with decision, I did decision process to generate a synthetic image, and the result were evaluated using the FED metric to determine how similar the image were. The lower the FED fluid, the more similar the synthetic image were. This image were then combined with the original data before being trained on the same 2 models, ResNet 18 and EfficientNet B0. In scenario 3, the tests were repeated as in scenario 1 and 2, but with a new dataset, or one the model had never seen before. This was to determine whether the model performance changed when tested on new dataset. Next, dataset and preprocessing. Yeah, you said subnet of 800 image casting of 400 normal image and 400 DR image. This is dataset was divided 70% for training, 30 for testing. Next, processing was forward. These processes include processing, graphical, and normalization, which aims to prepare the data for Azure processing by the model. The result can be seen in the following image. Okay, the second model training result. The second training was conducted for 3,000 approach, particularly for H class, normal class, and diabetic retinopathy class. As can be seen in bar graph, the loss graph show that as the number of approach increase, the generator loss and discriminator loss tend to stabilize. Indication balance between the generator ability to generate synthetic image and the discriminator ability to distinguishing between real and fake image in both class 0 and 1. The resulting synthetic image are shown in the following figure. The quality of this result was evaluation using the differential insertion distance or FID value. The normal classes observation and FID value of 368 while the air classes had a lower FID value of 287. Indication that the synthetic image from the air class were closer to the quality of the real image. A total of 100 synthetic images from each class were then used to enrich the initial dataset and new dataset from the classification model training process. Next, the classification model training result in the slide compared to scenario without the second and scenario 1 and with the second in scenario 2 on to dataset. The initial dataset and the new dataset training was conducted from a maximum of 100 APO with early stopping and 10 APO without performance goes to prevent overfitting and optimize computation time. On the initial dataset, the ResNet 18 model exercise a training accuracy of 0.9982 without the second and slightly equal to 0.9987 with the second. The efficient B0 model showed a more significant improvement from 0.9625 without decision to 0.9776 with the decision. And while the new dataset increased with synthetic image ResNet 18 achieved an accuracy of 0.9929 without decision and 0.9934 with decision. While efficient B0 improved from 0.9250 to 0.9263. It should be noted that during the data augmentation stage, the French exception detains or FID value for the normal class was quite high at 368, while for the DR classes was lower at 287. A high FID value indicated that the quality of the synthetic image still has a fairly large distribution distance compared to the original data. So the potential for accuracy improvement is not optimal, especially for classes with large FID. This can causes that model to receive additional information that does not fully respond to the visual characteristic of the original data. So the positive effect of augmented intelligence to be limited. Nevertheless, the use of data decision still make a positive contribution to model performance, especially in helping a generalization on a limited dataset with a more pronounced effect on model with lower initial accuracy, such of as efficient might be 0. Next, overall model evaluation on the initial dataset show that ResNet 18 without the second has an accuracy of 0.91 and on AUC of 0.98. With the addition of the decision, the accuracy increases to 0.92. Along the AUC decrease slightly to 0.97 on efficient B0. The initial accuracy is 0.91 and the AUC is 0.98 after decision. The accuracy increased to 0.93 with the accuracy remaining AUC at 0.98. And however, on the new dataset, ResNet 18 without with the decision activation and accuracy of 0.9 0.91 and with this again remain at 0.92 with a slightly improvement precision and recall. Efficient at B0 on the new dataset record an accuracy of 0.88 with this again which is increased slightly to 0.89 with this again. With small improvement in precision and recall, but still maintain high OC of 0.98. This is a result indication that this again makes a positive contribution to performance improvement. Although the impact varies dependent on the model and the quality of the synthetic image, where high FID values in the normal classes potentially limit accuracy improvement. Next, this is bar chart compress the overall performance of the ResNet 18 and EfficientNet B0 model into two scenario with this again and without this again and with this again. Visual set on two dataset, the initial dataset and the new dataset. For ResNet 18, without this again, performance on the initial dataset show an accuracy of 0.91 with a high OC of 0.98 on the new dataset. Accuracy remain at 0.91 with a slightly deserted in OC to 0.95 after augmentation with the again. Accuracy increased on the initial dataset to 0.92 with a slight deserted OC to 0.97. On the new dataset, accuracy increased to 0.92 with OC remaining at 0.95. For EfficientNet B0 without this again, the accuracy on the initial dataset was 0.91 with OC of 0.98 while on the new dataset. The accuracy was lower at 0.88 with the OC remaining high at 0.98. After ending synthetic data via Decision, the accuracy on the initial dataset increased to 0.93 with an OC remaining at 0.98 and on the new dataset the accuracy increased from 0.89 with an OC remaining stable on at 0.98. The use of a gun was shown to have a positive impact on the accuracy of a better model, especially on EfficientNet B0, which initially had a lower accuracy. However, despite the increase in accuracy, the OC value tended to remain stable or slightly decrease in some scenario. This is likely influenced by the quality of the synthetic image. High FID value in the normal class indicates distribution of synthetic image that is still different from the original data, so the improvement was not maximal across evaluation metric. Next, consolidation and solution. Main consolidation, the second augmentation successfully increased classification accuracy to 93% on the efficient B0 model and 92% on ResNet 18. The model performance is very high, where the model classification ability is proven to be very good with an OC or area under curve value reaching 0.98. Research contribution proving that GAN is an effective method to overcome the problem of limit data in early disease detection. Recommendation and further direction. First, as advanced GAN architecture, style GAN or we GAN, exploring to generate more realistic synthetic image. Expand to multi-class classification, train the model to be able to distinguish each level of rhinopathy severity and perform clinical validation, trial the system using the real patient data from hospital to and course is consistent. This is concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time and attention, ladies and gentlemen. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That was a very comprehensive presentation, Dede. Thank you so much for the presentation. And I have received a question by message. There, the question is, why did actually two question for you. The first is, why did you choose DCGAN for data augmentation instead of conventional augmentation or more advanced GAN architecture like style GAN? And second question is, how do you evaluate the success of your model? Please answering Dede.
Thank you. This again was chosen because it is relatively simple yet effective and generating synthetic image with reasonable quality. This is a study focus on initial proof of content for gun-based augmentation,
Mhm.
making the SIGAN a suitable choice.
Mhm.
However, in future research, advanced architecture like style gun or V-gun will be explored to produce more realistic image. And
Okay.
answer two, model success is evaluated using metric such as accuracy, F1 score, and AUSI. In this is a study, the AUSI raised 0.98, demonstrating excellent classification performance. Moreover, the performance improvement after decision augmentation further proves the effectiveness of the approach.
Okay, thank you very much for the answering. It is very clear for the answer there. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, the is the last presenter and we will close the webinar. But before we end the webinar, we will take a group photo first. So please on cam and I will count for photo group. Okay. Okay, give your sweet face, everybody. Okay, good. One, two, three. Okay, thank you so much for all presentation. Okay, wait more. Okay. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank all speakers and participants for your valuable contribution to today's session. Of course, we look forward to your active participation in the upcoming session. I hope you leave with new knowledge, new perspective, and perhaps even the beginning of new collaboration. Again, thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again at our next session and enjoy the rest of the conference. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.